What's going on, everybody? So today I'm just going to be showing a 12 pool defense. A GM friend of mine actually sent this in, Antis. We were drilling this earlier and I was having problems defending a 12 pool, and he actually goes through and he shows exactly this on the same map we were training on. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on it, and just some things that I catch out, and I'll talk about it. Obviously there's probably some things I'm gonna miss because these are two GM players and I'm nowhere near that level yet, but I'm gonna see what I can take out of this. So introducing our players, up here in the top left hand corner we have Sacrilege, which I believe he's the one that will be going for the 12 pool as shown by this extractor first here. And down here in the bottom right hand corner we have Antis. This is the GM friend of mine. He's a pretty cool dude. I just uploaded a video of him and I playing some 2v2s. You guys should check it out if you ever get a chance. So Sacrilege going straight to saturate gas. I'm gonna get this production tab up. Antis here is on 17, I imagine. Okay. So he's going to play Hatch First. Hatch First is pretty standard in ZvZ. This seems to be one of Antis' favorite builds, or just his bread and butter, really. So spawning pool up here is almost completed. Now one of the things with this 12 pool all in is it usually has Banes following behind it, and it's pretty painful. So one thing to note here, Antis isn't actually going for any gas. I'm not sure why this is the case. I don't know what he's scouted at this point, which is nothing. I guess this is just a particular build he was going for at the time. I'll have to ask him sometime what this is. Not sure what these drones are doing. Oh, he just didn't want to be oversaturated. Okay. Still no gas here. So here's the first round of 6 lings that have been made for Sacrilege. He's also got his Bane nest down. Another one of the important details to note, as soon as he got the link speed, he pulled off a drone to get back on the minerals, just so he can have that slightly higher income, and he'll have enough gas to still be able to produce Banes. So this is actually pretty neat. He rallied these, or well, he brought these lings around the corner of the map, and has managed to avoid this overlord here. Meanwhile, he has another set of lings here already created. Okay, so there's 8 lings, and he's gonna actually send this out at the same time that a normal 17 pool would be. So this is some of the mind games here you can see. Meanwhile, he's got his Banes created up here in the top. Antis is going to see some of these things going on. I'm not sure how he's going to choose to react. He's actually not going for any sort of speed. He goes straight for his spine down here. He has 2 queens down. Banes are going to get some decent connections here. This queen is going to die. I imagine both of these queens are going to die, actually. Antis choosing to fight with the drones a little bit. He's going to lose a few. He's still ahead in workers, so this is one thing to note. And Antis is on 2 hatch supply, or 2 hatch production. A few of these lings being rallied off to the death here. Looks just got queens in production here, I believe, coming out of the nat. Yes. Imagine the next 150 he'll go for another queen. I guess we'll have to see. No, okay, he does go for queens. Bane's still finding some pretty solid connections. These queens are left to think for themselves, and lings do a pretty good job of killing queens. I'm not entirely sure why Sacrilege opted. Okay, that's why. He doesn't know there's a spine up here, but he hasn't really poked in. Is he gonna get this hatched? No, surely not, right? More lings coming down to reinforce this. Antis, looking to still continue to stockpile queens. He keeps bringing the queens down from his main. So he should be making these 2 at a time. He's gonna make another one here. So at this point, he just needs to be able to like target fire these Banes down, and these queens should be able to hold the lings, with the addition of the spine here. If he can target fire these, he's going to do a pretty decent job of holding. Which looks like he's going to try. A few of these Banes are going to get good connections. Transfuse is going to come down on the spire. It's going to give it just a little bit of extra health for a little bit of time. I believe that actually caused another Bane to have to detonate on it to kill it, which is one less Bane that can be used to kill all these lings. Little things. I've noticed Antis isn't actually transfusing, or not transfusing, he's not injecting, he's saving his energy to transfuse if it's needed. So target firing one of these Banes down, and now we're just gonna have a bunch of lings trying to fight off with a bunch of queens in the back. So at this point here, I'm gonna call this a pretty successful defense. I think he's actually gonna get an Overlord here too. Yeah, he is. Just gonna force Sacrilege to spend another 100 minerals that he doesn't really have at this point, just to make an Overlord. So he's opting to go for a Roachhorn here. Meanwhile, Antis is also getting a Roachhorn at this point. So he is injecting in his main again. I guess he's not too terribly concerned about transfuses at this point. He feels confident that he has held. He's a few workers ahead, so this is a pretty good spot. Oh, excuse me. See, so he's actually fully saturated on gas in his nat, but he hasn't even taken a gas up here in his main. He's gonna go with the 3 evolution, 3 evolution chambers as a wall off here, and with addition to the Roachhorn and Queen. Meanwhile, Antis is now 12 workers ahead. I'd say that's pretty solid, pretty substantial amount. And we're actually going into lair tech. His opponent, Sacrilege, has, or can't really afford to even do this. It's not even a thought. Creep spread coming out a little bit. We're gonna have a few lings. They try to poke in, they realize they're not gonna get anything done besides taking this one lone ling. I mean, I guess at GM level everything counts, so I guess I can understand. Okay, so he's finally taking the gases up here in his main. Curious to see what he wants to really do with this. He does have the +1 missiles on the way. So roaches with +1 missiles, 2-shot lings. So that's a pretty neat little fun fact. And from what it looks like, Antis is going to have plenty. He's going to morph them into Ravagers here. Meanwhile, we do have a bunch of roaches being rallied across the map here from Sacrilege. I guess this is his last all-in, as he is 21 workers behind. All Antis needs to do at this point is hold and not lose too much out of this, and he's going to be in a very, very fantastic position. These queens are getting a lot of value here. Transfuses were fantastic. Can't really ask for anything much better than that. Okay, Sacrilege understands that the game is over at that point. He's just gonna go ahead and tap out, leave. No GG. I guess he's a little upset. Excuse me. So I'm gonna bring it back, I guess, to about a minute in. And I'm gonna watch from Antis' perspective. See, no. I wanna watch from Antis' perspective, in his camera view. I wanna see when he first sees lings and what his reaction is to it. I mean, this could obviously take just a little bit because, as we saw previously, Sacrilege does a pretty okay job of hiding these lings initially. I need some water. So at this point, he's blind, right? He sees nothing. If I can ever get a chance to ask him about this, I'm gonna ask him about his initial reactions and how he chose to pull, or what he chose to do. So he still sees nothing. Minimap is blank. He doesn't even see an overlord on the map. I'll take that back. You just got a little glimpse of him. Oh, okay. So he sees lings. He sees that there's 8 lings, actually. There are not 6. I guess that could be some sort of giveaway. Initially, right off the bat, you would see 6 lings. And then on top of the 2 lings that were there in front. So it would be impossible for him to have this amount of lings off of the 17 pool. So obviously, once he sees the pressure down here in his nat, he gets the spine, trying to secure the main. And he was going to fight with drones there. He didn't have the ling count, but he had a few drones, and that would have potentially evened it out a little bit. And I guess the game here is going to progress as it previously was. Overlord's still going to be able to see all these lings being streamed in across the map. Good positioning there. What is it? Alt G for 50? I don't remember what it was to show control groups, but I'm not going to go too in depth into it. So that's going to be, and then he's going to progress to holding as we previously saw. So I thought that was pretty neat. That was just something I wanted to go over with you guys and talk about it myself. If you have any questions, drop a comment in the comment section below. I'll try to get to it. I can maybe ask some other players if I don't know the answer personally. And hopefully we can all learn StarCraft just a little bit more and see if we can become better players ourselves. I think this is going to wrap up this episode. Well, thank you guys very much for stopping by and checking out the channel, checking out the video. I appreciate you all. Have a good night. See you.